The next step in the process gets a little bit more complicated. You're really going to have to slow down, pay attention to what you're doing, and analyze where you want the pieces on the cube to move during this step of the process. But what we're going to be doing is solving the entire second row now. So what we're going to look at first is on the top side here, we've got these edge pieces that we're going to need to move down to these corner sides here to get everything to agree. It looks a little more difficult than it actually is, so I'm just going to try to talk you through this first and show you once again some writing about what this looks like, and this is going to make sense as we step through this. But if you look at the cube and you find a piece that you want to go to the left-hand side on the edge, what you're going to do is you're going to start with a kick to the right. And I'll show you what that means first. So a kick to the right, opposite being from the direction we want the piece on the cube to go. So what that's going to look like after we make the kick is we're going to run a left-hand logarithm, we're going to rotate the cube, then we're going to run a right-hand logarithm. If you want the piece to go to the right, you're going to do the opposite. So you're going to kick the piece to the left first, then you're going to run a right-hand logarithm, you're going to make a rotation, and you're going to run a left-hand logarithm. And after you do that, you're going to see the piece get into the proper position that you want it to. I'll point this out when we're doing it, but when we make a rotation on the cube, the nice thing about this is going to stay consistent as we move through the learning of the solve. But when we make a rotation, we're going to have a white piece that serves as a reference. And the way that I remember this is always make your rotation with reference to that white piece as if you're bringing it across your face. I'll show you what I mean in a moment here when we do this, but let's come back to the cube here and I'll just walk you through this. So let's say the first thing we want to do is move this green corner piece down into its proper position. So we know we've got a green and an orange. We need that to end up and agree with, like I said before, the middle pieces here, the green and the orange. So what we're going to do is just what I mentioned before. So if I want this piece to move down here to the right, first thing I'm going to do is kick it to the left. So I'm making a rotation like this so the piece physically moves to the left side of the cube. And wanting it to go right, I'm starting with a right-hand logarithm. So we're just going to go one right-hand logarithm. This is that white piece that I told you to look out for before. This is the rotation steps. We're going to bring this across our face. So we're going to make one movement of the cube to bring the white piece across the face. And then we're going to run the left-hand logarithm. So what you can see, we've accomplished just what we wanted to do. We've moved that corner piece, used to be up here, or the edge piece, I'm sorry, up here. We've got it down in the proper position. It agrees with each side there. And we're going to repeat that process and find the next pieces and where they should go. So the orange here, we know we want that to end up on the orange and the blue side there. So we're gonna start with orange over orange. That's one other thing to make mention of. You noticed me doing the same thing before, but start with this piece aligned with its middle piece here. So when you look at this one, this piece we also want to move to the right. So we're going to start with a kick to the left. So we'll kick it left to begin with, and then we're going to run the right-hand logarithm. Here's our white reference piece. We're going to bring that across our face, make one rotation like that, and run a left-hand logarithm. And here's the piece right here that we just had up on the edge. Got it down in the proper position. Let's see where the next one needs to go. This is another one that needs to go to the right. So same thing here. I'll do this a little bit faster now. So we've got that one in the proper position. And let's see, the last one here. This one also needs to go to the right. So now we've got the entire second row solved in doing this. Sometimes what will happen is you'll complete this whole process and you'll end up with an edge piece that is still in the wrong position. And let's just say that was the case. All that you're going to do is hold the cube face, or the middle side here is facing us. And let's just say that we wanted to move this piece out right here. So all we're going to do is run that sequence of moves once, and we're able to pop it out and get it back onto the top side. We could rotate this around to the proper side of the cube to make it agree. This one, once again, is going to go on this side here. And this is actually a good example of what we've set up. I was doing the right hand motions to show you a movement of the piece to the right. But this is a good example, like I said, to get this piece to go to the left hand side. So once again, green needs to match up with green here. Red, we want that to match up with this down here. So this one, we're going to do the opposite of all of what we just did. So this one's going to start with a kick to the opposite side. So we'll kick it to the right. So I've moved this piece to the right-hand side. We run the left-hand logarithm first. Here's our white piece once again for reference. Bring it across your face. Rotate the cube like this. And we run the right-hand logarithm, and we got that piece into the position that we wanted.